Thank you for joining me today for an interview about being an engineer. Mr. Ferguson, what is your job title?
So my job title at Panasonic is I'm a engineering manager for a. So my job title at Panasonic is I am an engineering manager for a team project.
Is there a specific area of engineering that you specialize in?
So when I went to college at the University of Illinois, I majored in electrical engineering, and I worked as a software engineer and also a hardware engineer and a systems engineer before I became a manager.
What are your day tasks at work?
Well, as an engineering manager, I generally tend to monitor my team activity to make sure that they are on track with completing the project, meeting our goals for the customer, and make sure that we deliver our new products on time.
What kind of education skills or training do you need to be an engineer?
What type of education skills and training? Okay. Well, starting at your age at elementary, you want to make sure you do well in all your classes, but particularly math and science. And then when you get to high school, you want to make sure you take all the higher level math and science classes that will prepare you for college. Like you'll have algebra, geometry, trigonometry, and even calculus. Sounds scary, but very important math classes, as well as chemistry and physics. And then when you go to college, you can decide to choose in different engineering majors that you like. Engineering is a pretty broad term, but there are very numerous types of engineers that you can choose to be based off of your interest. I chose electrical engineering because I liked video games when I was younger. Many of you may have the Nintendo, the newest one, Nintendo Switch. Thank you. I had the original Nintendo when it came out, and that got me very interested in how to make video games and how everything works. So that's why I wanted to be an engineer.
What is the most enjoyable part of your job?
The most enjoyable part, there's many, but ultimately I like to see my team deliver a new successful project to the customer where it functions well and meets all the requirements and the customer really enjoys it.
Are there tools that you rely on to perform your job?
So as a manager, I typically use many of the types of tools you use now on particularly like your laptop, many of your programs, like you have a spreadsheet program, you have a PowerPoint program, a Word program that you use to communicate, email a lot. When I was a electrical engineer, I'd have different types of special tools that could take measurements, things that can measure electricity, things that can look at signals and see if they're the right ones being sent. And when I was a software engineer, I used to use different types of coding programs in order to write new code for apps and other things like that. So various types of tools.
What kind of technology do you use?
Pretty much the type of the latest technology and tools that are available. Again, like your laptops and my mobile devices like cell phones, your smartphones, to communicate quite a bit. Also, in my type of field, we have an opportunity to work with some of the latest technology out there. Many of you will be able to communicate over the air, what's called, you may have heard the term like Bluetooth. We're able to use that quite a bit in my job and our new products, and that helps to do fun things like send music or stream video, that type of thing. So very, very cool stuff.
Have the kind of tools and technology that you used changed throughout your career?
Wow, has it? Um, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, uh, you know, today you have the Nintendo Switch. When I was young, we had the very, very first Nintendo, um, and it was very, very cool at the time. But today it would be seen very, outdated. Um, I mentioned smartphones earlier. I think it seems like almost everyone has one today. When I was young, we still had what's called a landline, where we had one home phone number, and that home you would call that number to reach anybody in my family. So I didn't have my own personal number, and it stayed at home. It didn't go with you wherever you went. That got more popular when I was in college, and that was really cool at the time when somebody had a cell phone. It was brand new, and it was like, wow, you can call somebody and dial some numbers, and didn't even have a screen, right? So, and then as I went through college, the use of computers and then later laptops, mobile computers became popular, and those are really cool and neat. So things that you see that are normal place today, your smartphone, your laptop, different types of video devices. When I was young, you would see somebody with a big camera to take a video like this. Now you could just pull out your smartphone and take a higher quality video than what I had when I was young. So it's really changed a lot.
If I want to become an engineer when I am an adult, what school subjects are most important for me to excel in?
Well, you want to excel in everything because you end up using all your skill sets, but definitely your math and science are very, very important. And you want to, if you really enjoy those fields, then that's a good indicator that you probably will like engineering as well, because engineering, no matter what type of engineering you use, will use a lot of math and science to complete your job.
What is your prediction about the future of engineering in the next 15 to 20 years?
Wow. Well, that's a pretty broad question, but what I'll try to answer it like this. You will always need engineers to invent new things and solve problems, because there will always be new uses for technology, and also new technology invented. So by the time you guys are in college, there'll definitely still be a need for engineers. I think even as short as 10 years from now, there'll be the newest technology will probably be cars that drive themselves. That's already starting to happen as we speak. I know there's technology being designed now where not only can the car drive itself, but what's called the infrastructure, meaning the roads, the stoplights, are all starting to be designed now to accommodate a car driving itself safely. So I think by the time you guys are in college, 10 years from now, that will no longer be uncommon to see a car drive itself, or you might have a car that drives itself.
Is there any advice that you would give our students that will help them if they want to become an engineer like you one day?
Well, definitely take an interest in math and science, and if you find that you really like those areas, then that's usually a good indicator. Also, think about what you like. As I mentioned, there's different types of engineers. So if you like to make video games, there's a type of engineering for that. If you like to play with chemistry, there's a type of engineering for that. If you like to build buildings, if you like to build airplanes or spaceships, or try to, if you have a new idea that you want to create something new and design something new, all those are good indicators that engineering would be a very good field for you.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. This was a great interview. Thank you very much.